Happy Wednesday. This is Life and Pushing Through Roadblocks, episode 9. And this is actually right around Thanksgiving tomorrow. So first off, I want to really give a big thank you to everybody that's helped me out through my whole process. A lot of time, this episode has a lot to do with that. When I was at my very bottoms, where I couldn't eat anymore, I was getting fed through a tube, could barely walk, kind of at my bottom of my barrel. I was 157 pounds, which when you're a college athlete, 220 is what I was at when I was playing at Carroll, and dropped all the way down to 157 pounds. I was frail. There was not much of me left in just sitting at home, in my bed, going through a lot of things, and just getting fed through a tube. I mean, realistically, that was what was keeping me alive. It was a bad time. It was really, really at the bottom of my barrel, and a lot of thoughts are running through your mind saying, am I going to make this? Why me? A lot of negative things that kept trying to creep up in the back of my mind. And it was tough. I will be honest with you, it's probably one of the lowest points in my whole life, is sitting there going, is tomorrow going to be my day? Am I going to make it through this next week? Am I going to make it through this next chemo round? It was rough. I had rolled over a couple times in bed and actually pulled the tube out of my arm that was feeding me. So I had to go to the hospital and get that corrected. I've got about 3 or 4 different spots that they put the stuff into that they had my injection, because the thing is that it kept falling out, and I'd get fed at night or get fed through a tube at night, so that was kind of made it easier for me. But just it was a bad time, laying in bed, laying down on the floor at home, because that was the only spot that was comfortable, was laying flat. And at the hospital, sitting there laid flat, I would actually take my mattress off the bed and lay it on the ground. And that's how I'd sleep, because the thing is that I'm a little bit longer than the beds, and I just never felt comfortable. So that was the only spot that I found comfortable, was on the ground, laid out. And, I had some great, absolutely nurses who actually, when I was hurting and in pain and just sitting there, they would actually come into my room and, sit there and be a mom to me. I love my mom to death, but I had like 4 or 5 other moms that were a part of this whole situation. And they really helped me out, push through those days. And when I got to the bottom of my weight, I started kicking back, and I started feeling like, hey, I'm going to make it. I'm going to push through this. And I did, and I started gaining that weight back. That food started getting into me and started getting weight. And right around this time, because it's Thanksgiving this time, there was actually a big event, a benefit for me at Carroll College. I didn't know, and I didn't understand the grasp of it until I got there. Of people that knew me, knew my family, and wanted to be there for me. It was an event like none other. I got brought in through the back door, the Carroll Auditorium, or Carroll Gym, and kind of wheeled in a wheelchair, because I could barely walk, and sat down in a Rucker's Furniture chair that they were auctioning off. And I sat there, and it hit me how many people in this community and how this community supports people. It was overwhelming. I'm talking 2,000 to 3,000 people there. I'm talking 50 to 60 different items auctioning off on a live auction. I mean, it was huge, and it was just people there to support me and to support our family that, was the toughest time, because the thing is, my mom was trying to work, but it's tough when you have your son going through this. My dad was trying to work, but it was tough, and the medical bills were there. And so the Helena community stepped up to a whole nother level, and that's why I don't think I'll ever leave this community, because the thing is that it gives back. It loves its own. It wants to be there for you. And that's why I try to pay it forward in everything that I do nowadays, because the thing is that they help me out, I try to help them out. And anybody that needs help, please reach out to me. I do have a foundation for cancer families to help out with, and I can go explain that a little bit later as we proceed through this, but this basically helps out donate to families that need help. I also coach football. I do a lot of these activities to pay it forward because everybody gave it to me. And that big instance at Carroll College with that benefit was eye-opening and heartwarming. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I want to thank everybody part of this community wholeheartedly. And then also my nurses, my doctors, my family, my friends, everybody that helped me push through this roadblock and start coming back out of the bottom like I was in and to survive. Thanks.